Hi everyone, this is Ariel Clay, the San Joaquin County 4-H program representative with another helpful video about how to use the online record book. Today I'm going to walk you through the personal development tab. And what is it? How can you use it to help keep yourself organized? And how you can preview what is in there. So you can preview what your personal development record would look like once you printed it off of Orb. So we're just going to go ahead and click. We're not going to do a drop down menu for now. So in the online record book, each of these tabs will take you to a page that kind of looks like this, where, for example, the personal development corresponds to your personal development record. And then each of these dots or circles corresponds to a different chunk of the personal development record. So you can focus in just on one section without having to get distracted by everything else. If you want to see what your entire PDR would look like at this point, you would click on Review and Submission. And then it would give you the entire thing. But it's often helpful to kind of just focus in on a small section of it at a time, especially if you just want to check and make sure that something you added posted in the right spot. So the first circle is instructions and member details. So all of this is essentially pulled directly from your 4-H online enrollment information. So you can't actually change this here in Orb. If there's anything that's incorrect in here, then you'll need to log into your 4-H online account and change it there. So for example, if your birth date is wrong, you would log into your 4-H online profile and make the change there. And then it would automatically update here and correct itself. The profile pictures, you would select your profile picture from the photo and video section. I did another video on that. Just look for how do I add a photo or a video, and you can find instructions on that there. The next tab is the All Activities tab. Now, this does not actually go directly into your record. It doesn't directly correspond to any part of the personal development record. Some people just like a chronological list of everything that they've done and how it would fit into their record book. So some people find it a good place to kind of double check and see everything overall. So you can see it will have the date that it's entered, what level of participation it is, what the entry was, and then what part of the personal development record it went into. So the helpful thing about this is you can see there are 2 county officer training entries. So the reason that there are 2 is county officer training is a 4-H event, and you always include any type of 4-H event into section 3 of the PDR. However, in addition to counting it as a 4-H event, I can count it as a leadership activity. So I would want to make a second entry using the activities tab. So I would make one activity entry as a general 4-H event, and then another separate entry for leadership development for that particular thing. So if I was checking this and I saw that I hadn't included it as a leadership development activity, then I would know that I needed to go back and do that. So this can be really helpful for double checking what you have and haven't entered because it's more organized by date. And you can see I've entered a lot. All right, and the next tab is club meetings attended. So to add to this, you would use an activity and enter in a club meeting, and it would add it to this list. And then you can adjust how many meetings were held. So for example, if in reality your club had 10 meetings, not 9, then you can easily change it right there and save. The meetings attended are automatically calculated from this. So If you see, oh, I have 8 meetings listed, but I know I attended all 10, then you'll know that you need to go back in and add a couple more meetings. And then it automatically calculates your percent attended. All right, the next section is star ranking. We hope that all of you are going for your stars. It's a great way to receive recognition and kind of show off your 4-H activeness, your 4-H chops. So this is just a summary of all the different parts of the PDR and kind of a table of what you need in order to achieve each star. So this column right here is kind of the cumulative number of each activity from all years past. So if you've been in 4-H for 5 years and you did a record book every year, you would keep adding up that total, and this would be your total for your past 5 years. Then this column would be what you do this year, and then it would total it. And the total is what you use to determine if you fulfilled a star rank requirement or not. So the nice thing about the online record book is it highlights in green which ones you have actually already achieved. So you can see here, I obviously fulfilled my bronze star, but I'm a little short on my silver star because these two numbers with the asterisks next to them are actually required in order to get your silver star. So let's say it's your first time doing an online record book. You've done paper record books in the past, and you want to make sure that this past value is correct. The way you would change it is enter default values. And then it would give you the opportunity to change this. So if it's your first time logging on to the 4-H record book, the online record book, all of these would be zeros. But if you had done a paper record book the year before, you could change these numbers to match what it is. So let's say I actually had completed 4 projects in the years before this program year. I would just change that and then hit save. And see, it updates, and that got me closer to my silver. Now, of course, please be honest. Don't tamper with your past totals just to get a star rank. Please use the honor system and be honest about what you've actually done in the past. And then, of course, these hyperlinks will automatically take you to different sections of this form. So if you want to go and double check something, like you see that I have 0 projects reported for this year, you can click here and see what's going on. And I'll actually show you what's going on there in a second. And you can do that for any section of the PDR. All right, and then finally for the star ranks, it allows you to enter in what your current rank is, so you can change it to whatever you are currently. And then if you want to apply for a star rank this year, like this person would be really close to getting silver, so I'd probably go ahead and set that as my goal and try to get a few more 4-H presentations done to fulfill that requirement. Then you would click on the one that you're going for. And then you just save. And that's your star ranking page. All right, then we get into projects completed, which is section 1 of the PDR. And this information is pulled directly from your project section. So people often get confused by this part of the PDR. So right now it shows that I'm not doing any projects this year. But if you go to the projects tab, it shows 3. So people often wonder, why isn't it showing up there? Well, the reason is we don't want to enter it into your PDR until you've completed the project. So for example, baking and bread making, give me just a second to load into that. This is where the review and submission page really comes in handy. So for this APR, we go to the submission page. And assuming that all of this was finished, I didn't need to add anything or change anything, I would then submit report. And it says, "Are you sure?" I'm sure. And then if I scroll all the way down here, it lets me know that I submitted it on August 3rd. And then if later I realize, oh, I need to make a change, or I made a mistake, you can cancel the report and it'll come back and it'll be as before where you could add and edit and everything like that. And then you can resubmit it later. As for the approved section, if your project leader or community club leader or whoever is also actively using Orb, if you submit a report, they will be able to digitally sign it then. So digitally approve it. And at that point, when you print it out, it would show both your digital signature and your project leader's digital signature on there. So that's just a handy feature on Orb, not having to get physical signatures if everybody is using it. Okay, so we were on projects completed. And as you can see, since I submitted it, now it's showing up here. Okay, next is project skills and activities. So this is all of your showmanship, quiz bowls, presenting something at Food Fiesta. Anything where you're showing off a project skill would go in here. And you would put in that entry using the activity and then project skill activity link. Events attended is section 3. And this is any type of 4-H event that you go to that isn't a club meeting or a project meeting. So you can see I have a pretty huge variety on here. Record book interview contest, club achievement night, record book workshop. Anything that's a 4-H event would automatically go here. And once again, you would just add that by clicking on activity and choosing general 4-H event. Next is leadership activities. And any type of leadership activities that you do would show up here. And once again, you would report that activity using the activity button. And it shows right here. Section 5, community service and citizenship. That would be yet another activity type. Right here, PDR 5, citizenship and community service. Communication skills. So record book interviews, representing 4-H at to outside groups or organizations, radio appearances, speeches or demonstrations, anything that's a communication skill would go here, and that would, once again, be using the activity tab. So it would be a communication skill, and then we actually differentiate between 4-H presentations and not 4-H presentations. So you need to do a certain number of 4-H presentations to get your star rank. And the definition of a presentation is outlined in the 4-H presentation manual. So if you're not sure what we mean by that, talk to your club leaders or contact the county 4-H office. Right, and then honors and recognition. So this would be any major award that you received, so gold medals, county winners, your star ranks, that kind of thing. And this is added using the award tab, and you would put everything in there. Anything that's a ribbon, certificate, or seal will not show up in your personal development record. And then lifestyle activities. So this is where you get to record everything you've done outside of 4-H. So dance lessons, sports, church activities, anything that's a positive, good thing you're doing in your life that's also organized. So you can't include like chores or going to school or doing your homework. Anything that is considered to be outside of academics or normal life can go in here. And then finally, we go back to that report review and submission. And you get that basic preview here. And then if you want to see exactly how it would print out, you would click View as a PDF. And you can see this is exactly what it would look like when it printed out. And you'll notice there's often a lot of white space in ORB. You don't have to worry about that. If you turn it into a record book competition, you won't be deducted points for that. However it prints out from the online record book is acceptable. So that's how it looks as it prints out. The preview right here removes all of that white space, so it's just quicker and easier to see. And then just like the annual project report that we submitted, you can submit this report as well. And a submitted report will show your digital signature. And then if your community club leader is using the online record book, they would, oh, whoops. You got to see my desktop. They would then have the opportunity to approve it and digitally sign it. So the more people who are using online record book, including leaders and adult volunteers, the better. The more you can interact with them on the site. Okay, so that's an overview of the personal development tab. These are basically some quick links to different parts that I already went over. So like club meeting record. This will automatically take you to the third tab where it's all that club meeting information. Same thing for that PDR activities page where it just has that full list of everything that you've entered into your PDR that I showed you earlier. And then this would take you directly to the star rank page, and this would take you directly to honors and recognition. So it can look a little overwhelming at first, but it is actually organized in a fairly intuitive way once you start clicking around and interacting with the PDR. So hopefully this answered your questions about how to create your personal development record in ORB, and we'll see you in the next video.